another time. Let's get the unit health bars fixed really quick. And names here at the top. So which Zerg is which? Red is WhiteRa and Dimaga. So we'll swap that around really quick. Alright, you mind starting the intros just while I place this?
Okay. In the top left, as the blue Archon, it's Lambo and TLO.
It's also the only time you guys are ever going to see Rifkin regularly use the Control N feature. I don't love this nameplate, but it's a good way to display who's on what team. In the bottom right, it's going to be Dimaga and WhiteRa, which is particularly interesting because, of course, we all know WhiteRa to be the Protoss player. And we've kind of discussed with some of the players, too, how Zerg is one of the more difficult Archon ones to play. Just from the mechanics of the way eggs hatch to the way you F2 your army. There's a lot of funny ways that you can kind of screw over your teammate here just by perhaps not controlling your army well. So we haven't seen a lot of it, but we've definitely seen some instances of miscontrol, especially among Zerg, where it's cost games and made for awkward engagements.
Yeah, of course. I think the hardest thing about being Zerg Archon is just being being the macro player and scouting. For the micro player, finding where the units are rallied to is always very difficult. There's one or two more complications on top of everything else that happens in Archon mode for Zerg, and especially in ZvZ when your attacks are usually your scouting. There's no like Overlord suiciding in early. You don't really do that in ZvZ. Later on, you might get an Overseer unless someone F2s it away from scouting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, hey, just a quick reminder to everybody too: Zerg versus Zerg. Before we get into it, it's been a lot of Zerglings and Banlings from what we've seen in the past, but the game's a little bit fun because you can go past Roaches now, which is nice. Roach versus Roach wars, of course, are not the most fun thing in the world to watch, and that much so doesn't change here, except for the fact that you get there a little bit quicker thanks to the accelerated economy. But Lurkers, oh my god, Lurkers have changed this matchup quite a bit. And while I can't guarantee we'll see a lot today, just keep that in the back of your minds, guys, where Lurkers trump pretty much everything right now.
Yep, if you can get there.
If you can get there, yeah.
Oh, and I ran out of the German cough drops, which tasted perfectly fine, and now I'm the American eucalyptus flavored. Like, what even is that? It tastes like vapor rub.
Were those the ones that got you and Skylar, or were they different ones you're talking about? Because I thought they were just the same, no?
You got us cough drops? Did you just get us like mints?
No, I got you guys like 3 bags of cough drops that morning, plus like Skittles and all the other shit because they didn't know what would be best.
I think she might have taken those because I really don't remember bringing them back.
Because I was just gonna say they looked just like regular Halls or something to me. It didn't seem like they were that crazy different.
Huh? I don't remember. I don't recall. But this is a new. This is from the back of the closet in my house.
Oh Jesus! So yeah,
it tastes like it.
That eucalyptus fisherman's friend like 2001 flavor.
Ugh. Ugh.
What's worse, being sick or having to eat what makes you better?
I think it's like there's this old like saying like old people I guess would say like the reason that medicine tastes bad is like you don't want to stay sick, which is certainly true about these cough drops.
Yeah, that's pretty legit. Speed's going to finish up here for Red Archon in a moment, so they shouldn't be too troubled by this attack. They even have their own Banlings coming down, so as stated earlier, guys, it's still a lot of Banlings-Zergling wars. That Queen got really dedicated to kill that Overlord, by the way. Ooh. The nice thing about this, though, and this is where you start seeing the Archon mode really shine, is you got somebody who's dedicated to controlling the Banlings and the Lings, while the other macros behind it. So you don't have someone slip up, and there's less mistakes made, ideally. But Blue Archon just can't get any headway here, and they're already kind of out of juice. This is their last set of Banlings coming in.
Yeah, none of this is really committed. Red Archon is getting more Lings, but only in reaction to all of this. I mean, they really don't have to. They could be droning right now, like Blue Archon is, and Blue Archon is getting a slight lead in that drone count.
That's a nice trade at the end there. Yeah, resources lost a little bit better for Blue Archon, of course, coming through this, but they are both transitioning out of it, so it was not dedicated, as you said, and we'll see what the follow-up leads. Again, Roach versus Roach kind of expected, and Roach versus Roach is where this matchup's really gone. I was kind of really hoping to see something creative. I mean, you got WhiteRa, King of Special Tactics, on one team. I was hoping to see some, like, Overlord drops or something early on.
Yeah, I wonder if that would ever be worth it in ZvZ.
I can kind of imagine situations where, like, you know, you normally segment 3 burrowed roaches off to try and sneak into the main. Like, that instance of things, like 25 minerals, 25 gas to get those 3 roaches up there, leapfrog over the cliff type thing could be really good.
Yeah, or later on for lurkers.
Lurkers, of course, yes, as well.
That'd be really fun to see, some lurker drops in the main base. You're not ever going to be expecting that. I mean, you just really don't expect drops in DBZ to begin with, so...
No, but... That's what's kind of cool about a lot of these changes. They open up the potential for. It's not guaranteed just because you make Overlord drops cheaper that people will use them, but there's going to be 1 or 2 who will. We experienced that, after all. The Archon Cup. Quick shout out to Arctic Eagle for the 7-month resub. Welcome back. Bailey gets used there on the ramp. Spinecrawler unburrows. Ooh, I guess a little bit scared of this aggression. I'd say rightfully so. That's a lot of banelings.
It is. Red Archon. Red Archon, you know, they got a 3rd base, but they're not getting to their lair yet, and they were trying to hide a lot of those roaches in the main base. So when Blue Archon scouted it, that was their signal to go. So Blue Archon's kind of scrambling a little bit, and Red Archon is really going to try and bust them. But with 2 Spinecrawlers about to finish and transfuses, it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Ooh, those Baneling splash hits are actually really nice. If the Spinecrawler was involved in the fight, this would be so easily held by Blue Archon. They do come in a deficit with roaches initially, but we'll see if Defender's advantage is enough to hold on. Keep in mind, a big part of why Red Archon has less workers is just they cut to make this incredibly large roach army, and as we see, it's just not working out. Blue Archon doesn't have speed, though, so you can't really chase, but I almost feel like the defense alone was enough.
Yeah, it's quite bad for Red Archon. They gave up a lair, they gave up drones for quite a while, and they let Blue Archon get away with everything.
Wow, yeah, I mean, like, I know you just mentioned it, but, like, totally spaced by the lair. That means roach speed's gonna be up so much sooner for Blue Archon. If you guys have never seen roach speed versus non-roach speed, basically the player's roach speed gets to pick every single fight. There's no question about it.
There's that, plus in Legacy of the Void, if you know, the person who doesn't have roach speed is probably not going to be attacking you, because if they make one wrong move, then you can chase them down. It's too big of a risk. So in Legacy of the Void, this might have been Blue Archon's trigger to go ahead and go for lurkers really quickly, like throw down the Hydrus and try and get there before Red Archon has any opportunity to attack. But that's only if Blue Archon is able to tell that the lair wasn't done.
It was a quite awful Ling run by, actually. I don't think it killed too much. Like, no drones died and everything's just low on health. For those who are wondering why we keep going back to lurkers, though, it's not just that they're splashed or they attack while they're quote-unquote cloaked since they're burrowed. It's the fact that they have so much bonus damage versus armored, which roaches sadly are. So you get these huge lines of roaches, and lurkers just... 1 or 2 of them can shrek that battle.
Yeah.
But looks like we got some banelings being set up over here. This might not be too effective as there is a spine and a queen.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it will be. I mean, Red Archon really allowed Blue Archon to get away with everything. That attack did absolutely nothing. It didn't kill the 3rd, it didn't kill a lot of drones, it didn't stop like upgrades from happening. So Blue Archon is ahead in every single way. Even if it's not reflecting in that supply quite yet, they still have a pretty nice position in this game, as their 2-1 is on the way. Their burrow is on the way too. They're going to go for Tunneling Claws.
Yeah, this is actually quite nice because Tunneling Claws moves way faster in Legacy of the Void. Like, it's fairly quick in Heart of the Swarm. We've all seen it before, but in Legacy of the Void, it's much, much faster.
Getting Spore Crawlers. I guess they realize that they're getting Tunneling Claws, so maybe their opponent is as well.
They cancel them, though, so perhaps a little bit of paranoia. One person builds them, the other says, no, trust me, they're probably not doing this. I mean, that's the nice thing about both these teams. I mean, even though WhiteRa's not classically Zerg, I'd say everyone playing is a fairly intelligent player who can read the game. And that's the nice thing about Archon mode. It might not seem like the biggest thing because it's not exactly something you can visually see and represent. But the fact that you don't tunnel vision is hard. You actually have a moment to breathe because your partner's got your back. You can assess the situation way better.
Yeah. The macro. The macro player messing up a little bit for Blue Archon, gets a little supply blocked. They were starting to bank quite a lot, but their upgrades finished, and now it's going to be a whole 2 upgrades above their opponent.
I was wondering why I was starting to lose some frames, because big fight in the middle of the map. Roach versus Roach going down here. It is a huge upgrade lead for Blue Archon, though, but the numbers just simply aren't there. The concave wasn't in their favor, so it's starting to fall back off this. 34 Roaches is not a bad number, especially with 2-1 upgrades, but he's got to consolidate everything, or they have to consolidate everything.
Yeah. That supply block, you know, if they're going to lose here, it's all due to that supply block. They really should have had an equal or maybe even a little bit more roaches.
No, they're doing really cool tactics. What the Overseer got here is burning a lot of the weak roaches. So as he unburrows, they get that control back, and they're going to be able to push this back. That's really cool.
Nice.
Really well controlled. It's hard to see again. Like Roach versus Roach. There's a lot of subtleties to it, guys. That's what makes it awesome. Even that one Tunneling Cloud Roach just kind of moving forward. They're giving chase into this. And with that 2-1 upgrade lead, they should be able to take this fight every single time.
Yeah. They should be able to take the game, you know, behind this again, while they're maxing out on roaches. They get a 4th base, they're starting to send their drones over there, and their defense is over there. They could also think about a Hydralisk Den. Honestly, the Tunneling Claws isn't a bad idea. In fact, it can be a really good one, is they're just so quick. But
this tunnels like 5 or 6 through, gets to the other side, puts the concave into an awkward fight. No longer are they consolidating shooting all the same roaches, but instead forced to split from front and from behind. And Dimaga's just going to tap out. WhiteRa's going to be the one to give the GG. And Team Blue Archon, TLO and Lambo, take game number 1.
Clearly, WhiteRa's the micro player then.
It's just like, fuck this, flips the keyboard. Why aren't we playing Protoss? But, yeah, nice game 1 out of Blue Archon. I mean, they've just played it